Kingdom just falls like that.
Well, they're feeling the heat because there's only 6 teams left. 13 minutes in the clock right now. United will be targeting Team Falcons. Get high a little bit in the head, and FGL was thrown onto them so that they wouldn't get close to that wall. But above them, there will be Team Solid right now. Hopefully they don't fall down, because once one of their players will be taken down in there onto the ground floor, there's a lot of contention that will be happening. A little bit of cryo mind to damage them, a few HP being chipped up, but there's no knockdown yet being done from all the 3 teams in the same compound.
And so far, a lot of these teams have been going above and beyond to win the round. See, so far, Demon himself having 2 revives for his teammate. Things are getting a bit dicey now. We are in that close to the end game phase. Team Solid gonna work with this monster truck, make it a good cover for themselves. They are holding the center of the circle with Team Falcons right underneath them. Red Hawk tries to get the safety, but for him, it's not gonna not let that happen. Kutush is out of the fight as Red Cliff makes their presence known.
And let's see though, I mean, GOW are out right now, trying to get into the next phase of circle. It's difficult though, because we did point it out that Team Solid, Brim United, and Team Falcons is in here, and they have covered all the corners. So it's very difficult for GOW, Red Hawks, as well as Red Cliff to be able to get here. But as you can see, it would be a dangerous right now, not only for those in the fight, but also those who will be hit by those zones. And it is Gao going away from this fight.
5 teams remain. It becomes down to 4 very soon. Some teams are very injured. Red Hawks and Red Cliffs, especially Team Solid, is going to be taking all of these utilities, Blue Roll Melters, Ice Grenades, you call it, the whole fireworks show from BRU, but they're able to stall it out for now. BRU, unfortunately, not finding much conversion, and now Moshi needs some cover. But Trap and Guaksha, they show up, they retaliate, and BRU are being torn apart left, right, and center. The Union has been dismantled. Wasana is the only one left.
Yeah, Wasana was the only one left. Even the Steffi didn't save them, and Team Falcons following through. But they still have that Steffi triggered, and Wasana will be in safe for a little while. So he will be going in for survivability and placement point. But the pinch and the backstab, Flicker on the other side for the steal. And that would be Team Solid denied of another point. But 7 elimination already being gathered by Team Solid. And the Kings of Solara, as we see it from Global Finals, will be taking the reign. 4 teams remaining, and we are off into the shift of the circle.
And look at the finalists, right? We see Solid, Red Hawks, Red Cliffs, Falcons, Knicks continues to tear it up and put Team Solid in that front seat. Another point under the belt for them. Falcons staying strong with all 4 members, but the utility dump comes through from Team Solid. It's going to be Red Hawks in front of them first before they have a chance to make contact with Falcons, who have some breathing room to work with. But Team Solid are going to decide to pivot away from that conflict while taking out Red Cliffs, who are desperately trying to stop them.
Yeah, both of the teams, Team Falcons as well, Team Solid, broke away to take down the Bangladeshi, and it is Liku for Red Cliff that would be left, but unfortunately he will be taken out mid-limit. Now, 2 more players from Red Hawks managing to survive, but the onslaught will be brought in by teams from Brazil as well as by land, and now it's a 4v3 situation as 1 player from Team Solid has been knocked down.
And Falcons going in for the finish. Trap 7 trying to stay safe. Guaksha comes alive and finds Pina. Falcons finally suffered their first loss, but they still have their retirement, and the glue wall all goes down. Karoro with a massive shot, and Falcons going in for the absolute execution. Can Trap pull the clutch off his career as the Falcons surround him? There's just too much, and the Thai Giants start off Solara with a booyah.
And they grab the booyah, and they have woken up. They know the deal, that they have been left behind by some of the teams, and they need to catch up. And catching up is what they do best. Team Falcons for the booyah with massive points as well, but it is so awesome to see some of the teams from bottom of our leaderboard fight it up. Red Hawks as well as Red Cliff surviving in the final 4 teams, and also Team Solid, who still look for solid in Solara despite of not getting that booyah.
fantastic performance from some of these contenders. You know, even Red Hawks, Red Cliffs, and Falcons playing that catch-up game that we have alluded to in the pre-show, and they're showing that to us again. It's not about finishing first in the knockout stage, it's about getting into that grand finals, and then you show up. But Falcons wants to first send the message that they are still one of the feared contenders.
Definitely. I mean, we've seen them reign for Southeast Asia with that Tuya Championship, and we're going to see right now on what happened in that final moment. It took longer than what we were expecting it with the final player, which is Crab, but this what it is. Heroro would be bringing that finisher with that M590, and Team Falcon still, the reign is on for the Thai Giants.
It definitely is. I think Falcons, you know, when we see them really come alive in these moments, it does restore hope to a lot of the fans out there. But again, credit where credit is due. Team Solid still puts up a very consistent performance on Solara. You know, Red Hawks and Red Cliffs making it to top 4 as well, and shutting out a lot of our expected contenders at the start of the game. EVOS, Divine, and PE Sports, they gotta dig deep, especially for EVOS. We talked about them needing at least 75 points today, and round 1 didn't really pan out well.
Yeah, I mean, did mention the no zero day. I don't think it's a zero game though, but unfortunate for them, they were eliminated early and they are still far away from the target for this specific day. But EVOS Divine, hopefully there's hope. Hope will be showing up in a bit. I'm not talking about the player Hope in this game in a different team from Bangladesh, but this is EVOS Divine's right to be able to prove to the fans out there, as well as the doubters out there, that they can crush all those doubts and also get back into that grand final ring.
Yeah, it's going to be an uphill battle from this point onwards, right? Every single round that you don't get enough points is going to add on that weight into the coming rounds. But let's take a look at the game standings after game number 1. Because I'm expecting some unexpected results. Of course, with Team Solid not getting the Booyah, they still have the most points because of the storm that they brought. The 13 eliminations and finishing second. Falcons with the Booyah, but didn't really get much elims, so they sit at 17. Red Hawks got 17 for themselves, which in of itself is incredibly impressive. BRU comes in 4th with 16, and the rest are single digit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really loving this version of Red Hawks. Not only that, Red Cliff is still going in for that survivability, and this is something that the Bangladesh really needs right now. That motivation of being able to get back up despite of being put down. But how high will that bring them into the leaderboard? But let's take a look at the highlights as well. A little bit of recap of what happened, as well as to see who took down who in that battlefield.
Yeah. And overall, I think for teams like the Falcons, and playing safe was not to their identity, but it's very necessary. This fight was very important for Team Solid because we saw BRU bombard them with utilities. Team Solid, they survived, they didn't suffer any losses, they clapped back, they took out BRU, and then we got this great standoff towards the very end. But Falcons had the high ground, they were able to take initiative on the Team Solid and gain that man advantage before taking that Booyah. I feel like in any other situation, Team Solid, they were in a prime position to win.
Yeah, I mean, it really is Team Solid's map right there. It's just unfortunate.